Good morning. Welcome to Friday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to get your day started. Hope you're all off to a good start. And feels like breathing and tapping would be a good thing today. So, just going to start right here. Good morning, Catherine. You're the first one here today. Welcome, welcome. Just going to do a little tapping, kind of a reset. Good morning, Maureen. Welcome, welcome. Just doing a little tapping for a reset. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe some of you are doing the tapping summit that's happening right now. Good morning, Mel. Good morning, Jonille. We're just doing some tapping for a reset. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Abigail. Welcome, welcome. Glad you are here. We have an interesting card today. Themey for our week. Good morning, Cheryl. Welcome. And Nancy. Everybody's starting to roll in. And Beth. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're all here. Just tapping for a little bit of a reset. Actually, I think let's do sides of the hand also. You're getting snow. I think ours is, we're almost melted. Yesterday, I think today's going to be in the 40s too, but it's supposed to be very, very windy today. Colonoscopy. For me, those are like a non-entity. They're just, it's no big deal. They just, yeah. We've got a great place here. They're very good at moving you in, moving you out, keeping it chill. Hope it goes well. So, we're back to the Ascended Masters deck again. And the card we have, I modified when I put the title in there. I modified a little bit because many of us in the Practical Rebels are retired. So this is more limited, but I'm expanding it. I'm expanding it. So nice deep breath in and out. Let your shoulders drop in and out. Calming in, out, focusing, being right here, right now. And our card for today is Isis, and it says balance career and home life. And so I'm going to expand beyond that. Balance all areas of your life, whether you're retired, whether you take care of grandchildren, whether you volunteer, whether you still have a job, whatever it is, balance. Balance, balance. And again, I'm noticing that this card has popped up more than once. Certainly relevant for me. It has popped up more than once in the short term. So let's see what it has to tell us. Let's see. Good morning, Gwen. Let's see what's here to guide you today. You drew this card as a reminder to keep balance in your life. You can do this more easily than you may imagine. That was a heartening statement. You can do this more easily than you may imagine. You already know which part of your life is lopsided. We can feel it, right? And you may be feeling symptoms of burnout from this imbalance. You can rapidly shift your energy in positive ways by devoting time each day to your priorities. Even 30 minutes a day spent in meaningful ways will lift your mood, morale, and motivation. So, and I think about my morning routine and how vital that is to continuing to function. It's so important that I have that morning routine and that I stick with it. Additional meanings to this card. This first one, I've said this, you've heard me say this. Play is a much needed requirement for you right now. And so I've been discerning what constitutes play for me at this point in my life. So sometimes it's wandering around to thrift stores. Sometimes it's just sitting and staring out the window, watching the birds, going for a walk, going to a movie. The things that constitute play now are different than what they used to be. And acknowledging that and honoring that. Play is a much needed requirement for you right now. Make sure that your needs are being met. Delegate work to others. Say no to unrealistic demands upon your time. And there was something I was doing earlier this week, and I thought to myself, do I really want to be doing this? And I thought it was good that I posed the question instead of just churning through it because it was there and it needed to be done. Be honest with yourself and keep healthy boundaries in your work and home life. I was working with a client yesterday, and at the end of a session, I oftentimes will ask people what was most helpful today. And she said, and that triggered off another thing that I wanted to put on her homework list. She said, it was you giving me the words for these two really difficult situations. You gave me some ideas for words to say. It's one thing to say, well, do blah, blah, blah. But to have the words made all the difference. So then added to her list of action steps was getting herself a copy of Taking the War Out of Our Words. We need the words. How do we say this in a way that invites conversation instead of combat? What constitutes play? Yes. Good that you're asking the question, because even in asking the question, it begins to shift your mind to then look for what does constitute play. What do I want to do? What do I enjoy doing? You know, maybe if you've been very focused on work or caregiving or something else, you've kind of lost track of, well, what is it that I like to do right now? A lot of my friends, if I say something about play, well, I don't know, what do you want to do? They aren't in the place of claiming what they'd like to do or even knowing. And so my thing is, try some stuff. At the very least, you may decide, no, that wasn't it, or I didn't enjoy that, or I didn't enjoy that as much as I thought I was going to. Like for me, golf was one of those things. I thought I would love golf. Played golf and was like, this isn't for me, not exciting. And in fact, it was my now ex-husband and his best friend and his best friend's wife. And at one point, because the guys were way ahead of us, she looked at me and she goes, "Are we done yet?" And I'm like, "We can be done. Let's just walk. That's fine." It was kind of funny. Good morning, Chrissy K. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. We have 13 of you here today. So apparently, balance is something many of us need to be paying attention to at this point in time. Say no to unrealistic demands on your time. Be honest with yourself and keep healthy boundaries in your work and home life. Spend more time devoted to activities that make your heart sing with joy. Do you like scrapbooking? Do you like making cards? Do you like singing? Do you like, there's stuff available for everybody. If you, one of the things that I sometimes recommend to clients, because I've found it helpful, is Meetup. There's a Meetup group for pretty much everything. And for those of you who are in more rural areas, there's Meetups online. So if let's say needlework is something you'd like to try, there's online groups for that in Meetup. And sometimes someone can demonstrate something to you online just as easily as if they were sitting beside you. So don't rule out online stuff if you're in a place where you don't have a whole lot of opportunities face-to-face. So then it tells us a little bit about the goddess Isis. Isis demonstrated a perfectly balanced life as a great spiritual teacher and devoted wife and mother to Osiris and Horus respectively. Maybe respectfully too, hopefully. Do not retire if you can't play. There we go. Time to play. Isis is a much revered Egyptian goddess who symbolizes feminine strength and power. She can help you find enough time and energy to enjoy all aspects of your life if you'll ask her for assistance. And for some people, I think the hard part is they need to clear the slate a little bit so there's some room for some fun to come in. You know, when I was crazy insane in my 30s, raising kids, running a business, a couple businesses, brand new big house that had to be taken care of, blah, blah, blah. There were things that had to come off the plate. At one point, I made a vision board because it felt so overwhelming. I made a vision board that represented all the things that I had on my plate. And I made it like a chain. Each link represented something in my life. Committees I was sitting on, groups I belonged to, stuff I was doing for the kids. Lauren did dance, Logan did tennis, blah, blah, blah. And when I looked at that chain, I could see how I was chained. So then I set about dismantling some of that stuff. I don't need to sit on this committee. When I rotate off, I'm done. This group, I'm not getting much out of it. I'm done. And nice glasses. Yeah, that'll pretty soon. I'll have new ones pretty soon. All of those kinds of things. And being a bit mercenary about what actually makes it on my plate and what doesn't. And now, obviously a chunk of time is taken up with caregiving and a chunk of time with work, regular work, coaching, and some, good morning, Lorraine, glad you are here, welcome, and some of the other stuff too. And then taking a look at, am I keeping this on my plate? There's one that's in the crosshairs right now, and there's war language all over the place, right? Because I'm asking myself, what is this doing for me? And what is it doing for others? Because I want to acknowledge that piece also. But is this meeting my needs? Or is this meeting other people's needs at way my expense? And then something needs to change. Something needs to change. So take a look at your things, the things that are on your plate. Maybe even just make a list. First of all, I think you're going to be amazed at how much stuff is on that list. Even if it's stuff that you're only doing like once a month or whatever, it's a longer list. You're better at it in retirement. Thank you. That's good to know, because I want to believe that when I more fully retire, that I'm going to be better at that. Because yeah, it's easy to get out of balance. It's easy to get out of balance. The key thing is, at what point do you become aware of it, acknowledge it, and make some changes? Be willing to make some changes. And sometimes it's not received well when you make changes. Look, I can't be the secretary of this club any longer. I'm giving you a 2 months notice. Someone else needs to step up. Good morning, Diane. Glad you are here. So, what are you willing to do? What are you not willing to do? What would you like to do that you don't have time for right now? So some of this other stuff that you don't want to do anyway needs to go, so that you, yes, unchain yourself. Unchain yourself. And many of us lie to ourselves about, well, I can't not do that. You know, they're depending on me, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes when you step down from something, I remember there was a group I belonged to where I had been the secretary for years. When I gave notice and I stepped down, nobody stepped up for like, I don't know, 3 months. Not my problem. I'm not stepping back in. We don't have minutes. So be it. And finally someone else came out of the weeds and agreed to do it. Good. Good. No longer going to be me. So maybe put in the feed some of the things that you're considering letting go of, or some of the things that you're having a hard time letting go of because you just don't know how they're going to get taken care of otherwise. Put them in your God jar. That'd be a great thing to do. Help me know what to do about X. Put it in the God jar, because freeing up that space and that time. Again, if I didn't have my morning routine, I'd be sitting in the corner somewhere rocking and sucking my thumb. So having the morning routine is something that's really important. And yes, we do slow down. And one of the side benefits of slowing down is we can actually see what's going by. We're actually more present for what's occurring than when we're zooming past in our 30s, right? So that's your mission for today. I want you to think about, what might I be ready to give up, let go of, create some space, some open space. How will I choose to fill that open space? Maybe you want to leave it open space for a while. That's cool too. But being very conscious and thoughtful and planful about this. One of the questions I asked someone, I think that was a last week's session with a client, was if you knew you had a week to live, what would you keep on the plate? What would you do? And it wasn't any of the stuff she was doing at present. So hopefully that was a stark enough question to create a little bit of change. Even just a little bit of change is helpful. So have an awesome day. Practice balance. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.